Hello and welcome to SKR Yoga and Wellness. Thank you so much for joining me here on my channel. My name is Sam and I'm going to be leading you through a slow flow today. So we're really going to focus today on transitions between each pose, between each movement. We're really going to slowly milk out each of those transitions and feel all of the muscles that we're using to create that movement. So we're going to move nice and slow. We're going to keep our breath moving nice and slow. And a visualization that I'll share with you that I like to include in any kind of slow moving practice is to just imagine that you're moving through something with resistance. What I like to picture is that I'm sitting in almost like a bowl of honey. So it's really sticky and gooey, but it still allows for some movement. So we're really pulling the honey apart to create this movement. It's a visualization I may reference a couple of times throughout the practice. Take it or leave it, totally up to you. And before we actually jump into class, I just want to give a great big thank you to Lisa at the Aura House and for allowing me to film in this very beautiful space, and I hope you enjoy it at home as well. So we're gonna get started. You're gonna wanna sit on your heels. If that's not comfortable, you can always just place a block or a cushion underneath you, and you wanna come towards the back of your mat. It'll just help for what's coming next. And just sitting on your heels, feel nice and tall. We're just gonna take 5 breaths in this position. And I just want you to think primarily of elongating each of your inhales and exhales. So we're making the breath really full and expansive. And try to make your inhales just as long as your exhales. So just because this class moves slowly doesn't mean that it's necessarily going to be easy. There will definitely be some challenging moments and some challenging postures. And so we're going to try throughout this practice, our intention is going to be to maintain the slow, steady breath through each and every transition, each and every asana. So we're always coming back to this breath. So that's how we want to start our class. And you can softly blink the eyes open. We're going to continue with this breath, but you're just going to add some arms. So you're just going to bring your arms to a cactus shape in front of you, so 290 degrees. And on your big inhale, you're just going to open them up like a window, opening your chest and heart up towards the sky. And then on an exhale, bring those elbows together, curve the spine, and pull your belly button in towards your back. And again, inhale, nice and slow. Really work through all of those muscles. Feel your shoulder blades pinching together behind you. Exhale, bring the elbows together. Feel your shoulder blades expand. Feel that contraction through your spine from your head down to your tail. Twice more. Inhale, nice and slow. Feel that arch through your back. And exhale. Again, inhaling. This is our last one. Open as big and wide as you can towards the sky, and we exhale, letting it go. And from here, we will release. We're just gonna stretch into our wrists a little bit. So taking your hands down, your palms are down towards the mat, your fingers are pointing towards you. And then from this position here, you're just going to shift your weight back, keeping those elbows as straight as you can. And you might not be able to go quite so far. One arm might feel way tighter than the other, which is totally normal. Usually your dominant hand will feel a little tighter. And we'll release that from here, just flipping the hands around the other way. So now your palms are facing up, but fingers are still pointing towards you, shifting your weight back. Stretching through your wrists that way, keeping those elbows straight. And we will release, give those a nice big shake. And now we're gonna take those wrists that we just stretched, place your hands behind you, palms are on the floor, fingers are pointing towards your heels, and you're just gonna squeeze your butt to lift your hips up off of your feet. So opening up. And now from here, you're gonna bring your Sit bones back down to your heels and lift your knees. So you really need to activate the core to lift your knees, stretching through the front of your legs, through the front of your ankles here. And your knees might not lift very high. That's totally fine. Just trying to find that lengthening through the front of your ankles. And we're going to do that again. So on an inhale, we're going to push to lift the hips up off of the heels. Exhale, release, lift, and contract through the core so that we activate our abs there. Again, inhale, pushing up. Exhale, lifting the knees. Last time, inhale, push it up. And exhale, lifting the knees. And we'll release, coming back up to center. We're gonna come forward onto our mat now, stepping the right foot forward into a nice low lunge. Your fingertips are on the floor. Make sure we have 90 degrees with that front leg. Sitting up nice and tall for your heart opening. And now, maintaining a slow pace in and out of each pose, we're going to transition from here to half splits. So pushing into your heel, very slowly feel that extension through your hamstring. Maybe you don't come to a full straight leg. Maybe we hold with a little micro bend. And then we're going to slowly transition back to that low lunge. And again, just like that, pushing, feeling each and every juicy moment of that transition. Try and relax your neck over your front leg as we land in your half splits. And then we'll inhale to take it back nice and slow to your low lunge. Last time here, pushing, feeling maybe that resistance, that honey that surrounds you. And inhale to take it back, finding your low lunge. Now from here, bringing the arms up right beside your ears, we're gonna reverse. So taking your right hand down towards your left thigh, and exhale, let your left arm pull you diagonally over towards the back of your mat. And this should really intensify the stretch on the left side of your hip and your hip flexors here. Breathing deep. And now if you can, try to maintain this position with the arms, but you're gonna tuck your back toes on the left foot and then push into the legs really strong up to find a high lunge, maintaining this reverse twist here. Take 2 breaths in this high lunge, sink the hips a little lower. And now nice and slow, the right arm is going to help us unwind to come back to the front of our mat. And we're going to circle the arms back on an exhale and then swing forward. Nice big arm circles. Inhale to come up. Exhale to let it go behind you. Last time, inhale as they float up. Exhale to let it go. The hands come down to the mat. And right away, just take it back to your first down dog. Nice and easy. And let's really land in this down dog today. So we're not going to fidget. We're not going to move around so much. We're going to try and cultivate a sense of groundedness as soon as we land in that down dog. And now from here, walking your hands towards the back of your mat. So we come into a nice forward fold, maybe bend and relax the knees a little bit. And now nice and slowly with control, you're going to tuck the right foot under and the right knee under, tuck the left knee under. So we come back to that same seated position that we started with. We're going to repeat that flow from the hip lift. So taking your hands back behind you. And we're going to take 3 of these lifts this time. So on an inhale, pushing the hips up. Exhale, lifting the knees, engage that core. Again, inhale, pushing up. And exhale, lifting those knees. Last time, inhale, push it up, open your shoulders. And exhale, lifting the knees. And we come back to that seated position. This time we're coming forward with the left leg into that low lunge. Nice and easy. Keeping the fingertips on the floor, melting into that position. And transitioning in and out of our half split. So pushing into that front leg, take the hips back. Again, moving nice and slow, feeling each moment of your transition until we reach your full extension. And then we come out of it, moving very mindfully back into your low lunge. Again, push into that front foot, flex through the heel, relax over that front leg, and come out of it, low lunge. Last time, pushing into that front leg, half splits, moving real slow, and coming back to your low lunge. We inhale the arms nice and light up by your ears, and we exhale, left hand this time comes to your reverse, so it comes down towards your thigh. Right arm reaches up and over, really stretching into the right hip flexors here. Take a couple more breaths, remembering to try and maintain those long, slow, steady breaths. And from here, we tuck the back toes and trying to maintain the position with our body, we push into the legs, maintaining that twist, finding our high lunge now. Take a couple of breaths here, sink the hips lower. You got this. Keep that breath steady. We're gonna take the left arm, breathe it up to meet the right. Nice little port de bras, and then we exhale, arms come back behind you. Inhale, they come forward. We breathe up, exhale, let it go, up towards the sky. Last one, inhale, arms float up, holding that lunge, exhale. We open and arch towards the sky, circle the hands back to the mat, take it into your downward facing dog. Again, landing in that down dog so we're not fidgeting so much. Think of using the breath to help elongate any spaces in the body that maybe feel tight, so that we resist the need to move around. We're using the breath to create more space through the body. And from here, we're gonna look towards the top of the mat, just really gently. This time your feet are coming to your hands. They can stay hip-width distance apart. So we're in a nice, easy ragdoll fold. And instead of coming down to the mat, we're gonna push to stand. So plie and roll yourself all the way up. Coming to Tadasana, shine those palms forward, feel nice and tall. Our first full standing position. And from here, we're gonna cycle through 2 rounds of Surya Namaskara B, so your sun salutation B variation, starting with chair pose. So you're gonna bring your big toes together, heels about 1 inch apart, and again, really focus on those transitions. So we're gonna move nice and slow between each posture. So first we inhale to chair, arms come up, hips stay low. Exhale, fold over those legs, straighten up. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, release, take it back to plank. We're gonna take an extra inhale here. Exhale, maybe lower the knees down if you need, lower all the way onto the mat. Before we inhale, cobra. Exhale, take it back, downward facing dog. And make sure to plant here again. Before we inhale, step the right leg forward, back foot 45 degrees, warrior 1. Maybe the palms come together overhead. Exhale, take it to plank, all the way down onto your mat. Inhale, cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog. Stay grounded. Inhale, left leg forward, warrior 1. On the other side. Exhale, moving very mindfully all the way onto your mat. Inhale, cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog. Stay grounded. We're gonna hold here for 5 breaths. Now remember, even though our heart rate and the heat in our body is increasing, can we maintain a slow, steady breath That's our intention and our challenge for today's practice. And we'll inhale, look forward, walk your feet up towards your hands, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. And we inhale, bending the knees, sitting in your chair. Exhale, push to stand. Find Tadasana. Just for a moment. And we'll go again, this time starting with our left leg. So we inhale, brushing the arms, find your chair. Exhale, nice and slow, fold over those legs. Inhale, halfway lift, flat back. Exhale, fold, stepping it back, finding your plank. Take an extra inhale here. Maybe this time we exhale and lower all the way into Chaturanga. Inhale, upward dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Plant those legs before we inhale, left leg forward this time to start. For your warrior one, maybe the palms come together overhead. Exhale, take it back all the way down to Chaturanga. Inhale, upward dog. Exhale, downward dog. Take the right leg, inhale, warrior one. Exhale, bring the hands down, finding your Chaturanga, moving slowly. Inhale, upward dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Take 5 breaths. Really focusing on maintaining those long, slow, steady breaths. And we'll look forward, walk the feet between the palms, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale to your chair. And really feel that push as we exhale to stand, finding Tadasana. Feeling your heart rate, feeling that heat throughout the body. And take one last breath here in your mountain pose. We're going to transition into tree pose from here, lifting your right leg up. So lifting it up, maybe to the inside of your calf, maybe to the inside of your inner thigh, planting that foot. And then we're just going to bring the hands to a prayer position in front of the heart today. Continuing with that slow, steady breathing. The image of a tree definitely inspires a sense of slow, calm, and grounded breathing. For any Lord of the Rings fans, I'm almost imagining the Ents. And we're going to test our balance and keep that knee lifted, but just bring it forward so that it's in front of your chest here. And then really slow with control, you're going to bring that foot back and your right hand back to grab the inside of that right foot and extend into Natarajasana. So your dancer's pose. So feel that stretch through your quad, perhaps through your hip flexor. Try to keep that left arm that's extended parallel to the floor. And now the transition here, we're going to move nice and slow, really feeling that burn. Release the back foot and slowly bend into that supporting leg. We're coming to a runner's lunge, but moving very slowly with resistance, with control, and right away, push off that front foot, still with slow and controlled movement, coming to 3-legged dog. So your left leg is now extended up into the air, bending over towards your right foot, so your heel is coming towards your right glutes. And we're gonna exhale, bring that knee in, and you're gonna step the left foot about 6 inches behind your left wrist, and then rotate to the outside edges of both feet. So we're coming to a modified side plank here, and you're gonna reach your left arm up overhead. And we're just gonna come to some slow hip dips. So we're going to reach the arm up over the head, dip the hips towards the mat, and then on an inhale, push and bring yourself back up to that side plank. Twice more. Exhale to release that. We inhale to find that push all the way back to your side. And exhale. This is our last one, moving nice and slow. Inhale, push, take it up. And from here, a little bit of a strange transition. You're gonna take your right knee and you're gonna tuck it behind the left ankle to find your seated twist. So we're in this pretzel position. Inhale to sit up nice and tall. Exhale, wrapping your right arm around that left knee, finding your twist. If you'd like to add the elbow hook variation to find a little bit deeper twist, you can here. Just make sure that when we increase the twist, we're doing so on an exhale. Maintaining that slow breathing. And we're going to release back to a full side plank. So extend your right arm out beside you, extend your right leg out underneath you, and then we're gonna add that left leg back up, finding side plank for 2 breaths. Nothing too crazy. And then we come to your full plank position. Another 2 breaths here. Push the mat away from you, wrap your shoulder blades. Feel your core and your glutes nice and strong. Now from here, we're gonna walk up to the top of the mat, but I challenge you to do so with straight legs. So you really have to push through your ankles, push through your toes and your demi-point to bring yourself back to the top of the mat. And once we get to the top, let's take a bend through both knees and stretch. And we're gonna bend, roll up through your spine, finding Tadasana once again at the top of your mat. 1 big breath, and we're gonna repeat that on the second side. So tree on, you're standing on your right leg, lifting your left. So placing your foot, palms come together in front of your heart, cultivating that slow, steady energy, like the trees, like the ants. Breathing deep, feel nice and steady, feel that focus with your eyes, and challenging our balance. Keep everything the same, just float that knee up to your chest, and very slowly, with control, bring your left leg and left arm back, grab a hold of that foot, and continue moving in that direction to find your Natarajasana pose, your dancer's pose. Breathing. And from here, it might help to look down at the floor as we bend through the supporting leg. Gently release through the back leg, really slow. Coming to your runner's lunge. Definitely test your balance there. And then we're lifting that right knee right away with control all the way up to your 3-legged dog here. So we're bending through that top knee. Feel that stretch through the hip. And we're going to exhale to come forward. Place that foot 6 inches behind your right hand. And we rotate to the outside of both feet. Coming to a modified side plank. Right arm is reaching up overhead. We have our hip dips. We exhale to dip down. Inhale. Really push into that hand using your shoulder strength here. Exhale. Nice and slow. Inhale, we push, engaging through the shoulder blade. Last time, exhale, down, inhale, we push. And now taking your right knee, tuck it behind your left foot, sitting up. Make sure both sit bones come down onto the floor here. We inhale to grow taller. We exhale, either wrapping your hand around your leg or finding the elbow hook to twist. Trying to twist back around to face the camera here. Continuing to breathe. And one last breath, find your full twist and spiral before we unravel the spine. Re-extend the left arm and the left leg, coming to your full side plank this time. A long line from the tips of your fingers down to your palm on the floor. And we transition into our full plank. Take 2 breaths, feel strong through the front line of your body. And from this position, instead of walking in, we're gonna lower the knees, take the hips back. And from here, we have our peak pose of the class, which is our headstand for today. Really trying to slowly bring the legs up and bring the legs back down. So maintaining that same type of resistance, that same energy. If headstand is not something that you usually practice, you can do legs up the wall. You can do bridge pose, maybe with a block underneath your hips, or you can skip this entirely, just come into a child's pose. Do what you need, what your body needs for today. I'm going to do a basket with the hands variation. So you can also do tripod headstand if that feels more comfortable for you. But I'd love for you, once you get your head in the right position, to lift your hips up. And just like we did in that plank, walk your feet in closer to you and then lift up and try to slowly lift your legs to your full headstand extension. I've got the extra challenge of trying to talk you through it while I'm upside down here. Whatever you do, continue to breathe. And we will very slowly counterbalancing with your hips, going back, your legs coming forward, lower the legs, finding child's pose to reset your breath after that very intense posture. And from here, slowly walk ourselves back up. And we're going to make our way all the way onto our bellies. So you can just extend your body forward, getting comfortable. We're going to lift the arms up by the ears. Keep your neck long and lifted across the floor. And keep the tops of your feet pushing into the mat so that we're extending through the legs. And on an inhale, you're going to lift your upper body and arms off the floor. And then from here, lower. On an exhale, we inhale again, arms swing back. We lift the upper body and the legs. Try to lift your upper body a little bit higher than the first time. Then we exhale, bring the arms back up overhead. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. Arms swing, we inhale, lift again. Legs included this time. Exhale, lower, arms come back overhead twice more. Inhale, lift just the upper body, keep the feet pressing into the mat. Exhale, lower, arms swim. Inhale, lift everything. Exhale, lower, last time. Inhale, just the upper body. Exhale, swim. Inhale, upper and lower. Exhale, release everything down onto the mat. We're gonna bend into both legs here, grabbing onto the outsides of your ankles, coming to bow pose or Dharana. We're going to push our ankles into the hands to lift our upper body, lift our legs, coming to a big arch, stretching through the front of our chest, breathing deep. And we will release, let it go. We're gonna come back to that child's pose. This time, maybe let's bring the knees together so we can focus more on the spine curving and on the hips. Continuing with that slow, steady breath. Maybe feeling what those back extensions did for your spine. Noticing any sensations. And we'll push ourselves back up. We're going to extend back out to that same position we're just in, but this time rolling onto your back. So finding a supine position. And I'll allow you to finish off class today to take a twist or a spiral of your choice. So I'm going to shift my hips to the right and cross my legs and let them fall. You can bring one knee in to twist. You can extend the leg if you wish. Find whatever variation works for you. Do what your body needs. But I'm going to take this legs crossed position. Just make sure in whatever twist you do that you anchor your shoulders into the floor so that the twist is really just coming from your lower body. So the twist is coming from your navel. Breathing deep. Twists are a great way to decompress and counter any back extensions or inversions, which we did both. And we'll inhale to come back to center in whatever variation you were in. And we're going to go ahead to the other side. So I'm going to repeat this cross on this side here, keeping the left shoulder on the floor this time. Continuing to breathe. And we'll inhale, float the legs back to center, and we're opening up into Shavasana. Our final resting pose. Take up space on the mat, let your palms shine up towards the sky. And just take a few moments to notice your breath. Notice how it feels after that long, very mindful practice. And try to go over this practice for yourself in your mind. And was there anything, any section of the class that you think you could have made a little bit smoother, been a little bit more mindful through the transitions? And we're not attaching any judgment to this observation. We're just reflecting on how that went for you. If you enjoyed moving slower, or if it created some mental blocks for you, some positive challenges. And just continue with this reflection for another 8 to 10 breaths. Also noticing any sensations through the body, just really feeling the effects of that practice. Gently wiggling your fingers and toes, and circling through the ankles and the wrists. And finding a nice position on your right side, just rolling yourself over. And slowly making your way into a seated position, maybe keeping the eyes closed. And just rest your hands on your knees. Feel that sense of mindfulness and slow, steady breathing that we've cultivated in this practice. And we will bring our hands together in front of our hearts, bowing forward. Namaste. Thank you so very much for doing this practice with me. I hope you feel nice and grounded and that you can move forward with your day a little bit more mindfully. Please don't forget before you go to like and subscribe. I release new videos every week, and I really hope that I will see you on the mat again very soon. Bye.